Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Na bhavan avadhit yaksham na yakshas bhatranartam kal ev hi bhutanam prabhur apya hi bhavyayo.
Actually,
Yeah.
actually, you have not killed the yaksha, nor have they killed your brother. For the ultimate cause of the generation and annihilation is the eternal time feature of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. Please purport.
When the master of prison addressed him as sinless, Dhruv Maharaj, considering himself responsible for killing so many yaksha, might have thought himself otherwise. Kubera, however, assured him that factually he had not killed any of the yaksha, therefore he was not at all sinful. He did his study as a king, as it is ordered by the laws of nature. Nor should you think that your brother was killed by the Yaksha, said Kubera. He died or was killed in due course of time by the laws of nature. Eternal time, one of the features of the Lord, is ultimate responsible for annihilations and generation. You are not responsible for such actions.
Yeah. Okay. So expiry date of all of us is fixed. It is not mentioned, but expiry date is fixed. हाँ.
प्रभु जी ये बात अगर कोई जज बोल दे तो
Like
लाइक तुमने तो कुछ नहीं किया, दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ इटर्नल टाइम दैट यू किल्ड दिस पर्सन, neither you killed him, it was only because of the
Time.
supreme lord's will that he was killed, so you are buried.
वो नहीं है. पीछे हमने पढ़ा कि मर्डर फॉर मर्डर है ना, किसी ने किसी का मर्डर किया तो उसको सजा क्या मिलेगी, उसका भी मर्डर होगा. ओके अभी ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट अलग है. दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट इज डिफरेंट. ध्रुव महाराज वाज ओवर एंग्री, ही गेव अप. सो ध्रुव महाराज वेंट टू पैसिफाई कुबेर, बट इन अ वे कुबेर इज पैसिफाइंग. कुबेर इज सेइंग डोंट वरी, यू आर नॉट कमिटेड एनी सिन. I'm satisfied with you. It had to happen. Your brother had to die, Yakshas had to die. Their expiry date had come. We just became instruments. So it is in that context. But when it comes to maintaining law and order, yes, then death for death. That is there. No. Now it's in a different context. Out of,
From point of view of the lord,
from the
the
point,
lord sees all this that has happened,
yeah,
and Dhruv Maharaj has committed an offense because innocent yakshas were killed. Those
Yeah.
were not directly responsible for killing the brother.
yeah, but because Dhrumar is so elevated, sometimes an elevated devotee commits mistake, so Lord doesn't take too much to take too seriously. In fact, all those yakshas were promoted to Satyalok, promotion. So devotees and devotional service is so auspicious, but one should not take undue advantage of this. हम जाके सबको माना पुना शुरू कर दें मैं भला कर रहा हूँ आप सबका, वो नहीं. I'm come here to promote you. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we in a way Kuber is explaining Dhruv Maharaj that you are not the supreme controller. Don't think you have killed. No, you are not the controller. Time is controller. You are just becoming an instrument. All of us are highly insignificant. We just become instruments, that's all. Okay? So realizing our insignificance and realizing the greatness of the Lord, this is self-realization. I am the smaller than the smaller than the smallest, and Lord is greater than the greater than the greatest. That is self-realization. We should never forget that. We forget this, then that's why we get angry, that's why we get envious. ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो रहा, वैसा क्यों नहीं हो रहा. अब हो क्या? Nothing will happen as per our desire. We just become an instrument. We are too insignificant. In all cosmos, देखो हमारी क्या अस्तित्व है, कुछ भी नहीं है. और हम चाहते हैं the whole cosmos should move as per my desire. Okay? Yeah, ego is very high. Okay, next please, Prabhu. अहम त्वाम इति अपार्थीर अज्ञानात् पुरुषस्य हि swapnabhyadi atadhyanat yaya bandha viparyayo. Yes.
Misidentification of oneself and others as I and you on the basis of the bodily concepts of life is a product of ignorance. This bodily concept is the cause of repeated birth and death, and it makes us go on continuously in material existence.
Okay. Yep. Purport, please.
The conception of I and you, aham tam, as separate from each other is due to our forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, personality of God. The Supreme Person Krishna is the central point, and all of us are his part and parcel, just as hand and legs are part and parcel of the whole body. When we actually come to this understanding of being eternally related to the Supreme Lord, this distinction, which is based on the bodily concept of life, cannot exist. The same example can be cited here with the hand is the hand and the leg is the leg, but when both of them engage in the service of the whole body, there is no such distinction as hands or legs, for all of them belong to the whole body, and all the parts working together constitute the whole body. Similarly, when the living entities are in Krishna consciousness, there is no such distinction as I and you, because everyone is engaged in the service of the Lord. Since the Lord is absolute, the service are also absolute, even though the hand is working one way and the leg is working in another way. Since the purpose is the Supreme Person of Godhead, they are all one. This is not to be confused with the statement by the Mayavadi philosophers that everything is one. Real knowledge is that hand is hand, leg is leg, body is body, and yet altogether they are one. As soon as the living entity thinks that he is independent, his conditional material existence begins. The conceptions of independent existence is therefore like a dream. One has to be in Krishna consciousness, his original position. Then he can be free from material bondage.
Yeah. So, I and mind, this is the cause of bondage. Okay. So, all living entities are part and parcel of Lord, as hands and legs are the parts and parcel of the body. Now, these parts and parcel of the body, they cooperate with each other. If something is coming in my eyes, I'll use my hand to protect my eyes. No sane person will hurt his eyes with his own hand. ऐसे करके मारेगा नहीं अपने आप को, बचाएगा. So all the parts of the body cooperate with each other to protect each other. Similarly, we should behave with other living entities in this spirit. We all are, Lord is one body, we are part and parcel. So why should I hurt? So if I am hurting other living entity, I am hurting Lord. Okay. And Lord Kapil also says to Devahuti, those who worship me, but they do not see me in other living entities. When they offer me arti, I feel that as if they are offering me fire. They are burning me with fire. Okay? And all their yagyas, all their offerings, just like oblations on the ashes. So we should learn to see that.
By remembering this only one can gorgeous.
Okay? So we can hurt other living entities. We will try to harm other living entities if you are not seeing them in connection with Krishna. I will hurt my own eyes if I feel that this eye doesn't belong to this body. Only then I will hurt my eyes. Okay? So this is our Sambandha Gyan, is totally misplaced. कौन से? शिव जी, देवहूति, Lord Kapil. Right. So this is very important. We all are parts and parcel of the body, and body is Krishna. So one living entity should not try to hurt the living entity. Like I don't try to harm my other parts of the body. In fact, I protect them. Okay. Tad gach dhrav bhadram te bhagvantam adhokshacham sarvabhutatma bhavena sarvabhutatma vigraha.
My dear Dhruv, come forward. May the Lord always grace you with good fortune. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond our sensory perception, is the super soul of all living entities, and thus all entities are one without distinction. Begin therefore to render service unto the consecrated form of the Lord. who is the ultimate shelter of all living entities.
Yeah. So please go near to the Lord. You are already so near to the Lord. No point in harming others. Okay. Bhajasva bhajanyangrim abhavaya bhavachidam yukta vrihitam shaktya guna mayatma mayaya.
Engage yourself fully, therefore, in the devotional service of the Lord, for only He can deliver us from this entanglement of materialistic existence. Although the Lord is attached to His material potency, He is aloof from her activities. Everything in this material world is happening by the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So this is the characteristics of the Lord. The Lord has energies. Lord, the energies also work independently, and Lord remains detached. Okay. So, so you also should remain detached. Now you go back. Okay. So here, wherever the word bhajasva appears, meaning engage yourself in devotional service, there must be servant, service, and the served. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is served. The mode of activities to please Him is called service, and one who renders a service is called the servant. Another significant feature in this verse is that only the Lord and no one else is to be served. That is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Okay. Right.
But the Lord is attached to this material potency.
Yeah. He is attached, he is also detached. That attached in such a way because the material energy belongs to him, but is separated. So it is, if you start reading from here, second paragraph, one paragraph, 10 lines from the bottom, the living entity woos of the marginal energy. The living entity whose marginal energy is entrapped. Who has a mic? Yeah.
The living entity who is of the marginal energy is entrapped by the material energy on the basis of his desire to lord it over the material world. The Lord is aloof from this, but when the same living entity engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord, then he becomes attached to this service. This situation is called yuktam. For devotees, the Lord is present even in the material energy. This is the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Material energy acts in the three modes of material qualities, which produce the action and reaction of material existence. Those who are not devotees become involved in such activities, whereas devotees who are dovetailed with the Supreme Personality of Godhead are freed from such action and reaction of the material energy. The Lord is therefore described herewith as Bhav Chiddam, one who can give deliverance from the entanglement of material existence.
So if the non-devotees, they are trying to exploit this material energy, Lord is virihitam. He is not attached. But when the devotee is offering these material things to the Lord with devotion, Lord is yuktam. He becomes attached. Okay. So when you are trying to use it for our own purpose, Lord is detached, virihitam. But when you are using it in Krishna's service, then he is attached, yuktam. Okay. That way is bhavchiddam. Vrinahi kamam nipayan manogatam matastam ottan pade vishankita varam varaho ambujnabha padayor anantaram tvam vayam anga sushruma.
My dear Dhruv Maharaj, son of Maharaj Uttanpad, we have heard that you are constantly engaged in transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known for his lotus navel. You are therefore worthy to take all benedictions from us. Please therefore ask without hesitation whatever benediction you want from me.
Yeah. Okay. So Kuber is pleased with him, and Kuber is asking him to ask benediction from him. Okay. He killed Yakshas. Now Kuber is asking, so read the purport, please.
Dhruv Maharaj, the son of King Uttanpad, was already known throughout the universe as a great devotee of the Lord, constantly thinking of his lotus feet. Such a pure, uncontaminated devotee of the Lord is worthy to have all the benediction that can be offered by demigods. He does not have to worship the demigods separately for such benedictions. Kuvera is the treasurer of the demigods, and he is personally offering whatever benedictions Dhruva Maharaj would like to have from him. Srila Bilamangala Thakur stated, therefore, that for a person who engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, all material benedictions await like maid servants. Mukti Devi is just waiting at the door of the devotee to offer liberation. Or more than that, at any time, to be a devotee is therefore an exalted position. Simply by rendering transcendental loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can have all the benedictions of the world without separate endeavor. Lord Kuvera said to Dhruva Maharaj that he had heard that Dhruva was always in Samadhi, or thinking of lotus face of the Lord. In other words, he knew that for Dhruva Maharaj there was nothing desirable within the three material worlds. He knew that Dhruva would ask for nothing but to remember the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord constantly.
Kuvera was giver of the wealth. So he knew that Dhruva Maharaj won't ask any wealth from me. So, Maitreya Vacha, Saraj Rajena Varya Chodito Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamati Harau Savavare Chalitam Smritim Yaya Tarati Aitrena Duratyayam Tama.
The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, when thus asked to accept a benediction from Kuvera, the Yakshraja, king of the Yakshas, Dhruva Maharaj, that most elevated pure devotee, who was an intelligent and thoughtful king, begged that he might have unflinching faith in the remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for thus a person can cross over the oceans of innocence very easily. All that is very difficult for others to cross.
Yeah. Tarati ayatnanena. He can cross over ayatnanena without difficulty. What is that? Duratyayam. Tamaha. So that which is unsurpassable, that can be crossed without difficulty. Okay? By the mercy of the Lord. Yeah. So, this is very interesting. So, Prabhupada is writing, we read from here, to be unable to cross over material ocean.
To be unable to cross over material designs is known as the highest Purushartha or benediction for the humanity. But Dhruva Maharaj wanted a benediction which surpasses even the highest Purushartha, liberation. He wanted the benediction that he might constantly remember the lotus feet of the Lord. This stage of life is called Pancham Purushartha. When devotee comes to the platform of Pancham Purushartha, simply engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, the fourth Purushartha, liberation, becomes very insignificant in his eyes. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati has said it in this correction that for a devotee, liberation is a hellish condition of life. As for sense gratification, which is available in the heavenly planets,
Yeah.
the devotee consider it to be a willow of this,
Okay.
having no value in life.
So the last line, come to the last line. The king of the kings personally offered Dhruva Maharaj any amount of riches, but he declined to accept them. He is described therefore as Mahamati, very thoughtful or highly intellectual. So the best benediction to ask for is that I should have Mati, Avichal Mati in the lotus feet of the Lord. Best benediction to be given to anyone is Krishna Mati Astu. Okay. This is the best benediction. This is the best gift we can ask from anyone. Okay. So that's what he asked. This is the most intelligent thing to do.
Here, that for a devotee, liberation is a hellish condition. So
Yeah.
this is like
Sayuj.
Brahm Jyoti mein likha.
Yeah, Sayuj Mukti.
The remaining four and the remaining.
They devotee only wants service. Yeah. Okay. Next. Yeah.
Like this demigods, they also get power from Krishna and they have to utilize it.
Yeah.
So they are giving boon.
Yeah.
Like how they decide to give boon? Because they have to work according to Krishna.
Yeah. Interesting. Dhruva's status is higher than Kuber. And Dhruva is asking benediction from Kuber. And Kuber is also saying, Bolo kya chahiye deta hu.
But Kuber is treasurer. Treasurer is not the owner.
हाँ.
Treasurer जो trust decide करता है वैसे
Yeah. So this shows the character of both. You see, Dhruva is so humble. Dhruva didn't say किससे बात करें मालूम है? आप मुझे आशीर्वाद दोगे? भगवान से बातचीत करके आ रहा हूँ मैं सीधा ना। इतने बड़ा तपस्या करके आ रहा हूँ ना। He didn't say, he was not proud. So he very humbly asked, please give me this benediction that I should never forget Krishna.
चित्रकेतु महाराज जी तो तब उन्हें कर्ज दिया था।
किसको?
जब चित्रकेतु महाराज ऊपर से जा रहे थे,
हाँ
वो भगवान के दर्शन करके तो आए थे।
हाँ वही तो, लेकिन ध्रुव महाराज not proud.
Even he, when Parvati cursed him, he didn't curse back.
Yeah, he did curse. He was very humble also. So इसलिए the more we advance in Krishna consciousness, more we become very grounded, very humble. Okay, and he asks, yes, and you know, blessings are beyond the givers. कुबेर के बोल सकते हैं, it's not within my limit to give this benediction. I don't have this with me, but it's beyond the givers. If the Kuber will pray to Krishna, please give him these blessings. This will add to it. Okay, na? Devotee say to him, please pray for me. So we can pray to Krishna for other devotees' welfare. So I am not such an elevated devotee, but my prayers will be heard by Krishna for other devotees.
So devotees, the demigods, they pray to Krishna.
Yeah.
And then they are able to grant the boon. Something like that.
Something like that. And if Dhruv Maharaj is asking that I should never forget Krishna, so Kuber will pray like this to Krishna. That may he get this boon. That.
खुद का संबंध नहीं है मान लीजिए कृष्ण से, जैसे आपने कहा डिवोटी दूसरा डेफिनेटली प्रार्थना करिए, तो डिवोटी कह रहा है मैं तो खुद ही कुछ फील नहीं करता हूँ भगवान से अपने संबंध को, मैं कैसे प्रार्थना करूँगा? बदजीव कैसे प्रार्थना कर सकता है?
ठीक नहीं, क्यों नहीं कर सकता? बच्चे प्रार्थना कर सकते हैं, क्यों नहीं कर सकते? क्यों नहीं कर सकते?
नहीं मतलब तो आप कह रहे हैं दूसरे का उत्थान के लिए कहें कि भी मेरे वेलबींग के लिए, मेरी स्पिरिचुअल अपलिफ्टमेंट के लिए कोई कि आप प्रार्थना करिए, पर कह रहे हैं मेरा खुद का अपलिफ्टमेंट नहीं हो रहा है, मेरा खुद का भगवान से संबंध नहीं हो रहा है, मैं तुम्हारे लिए कैसे प्रार्थना करूँ? संबंध होगा तो मैं कुछ प्रेयर्स करूँ।
ठीक है, संबंध होगा तो प्रार्थना बहुत इफेक्टिव होगी, संबंध नहीं है तो इतनी इफेक्टिव नहीं होगी, फिर भी कुछ तो इफेक्ट पड़ेगा, कुछ तो करेंगे, और दूसरों के लिए प्रार्थना करके हम शुद्ध होते हैं। कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, हम तो अपना बेस्ट करें ना। हाँ हाँ, उसमें हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम इतना तो कर ही सकते हैं, किसी के लिए वेल विश कर दें, किसी के लिए प्रार्थना कर दें। कृष्ण ने
ध्रुव महाराज जी से बोले कुबेर से, तो he knows, कुबेर knows the position.
हाँ।
Is actually Dhruv preaching to कुबेर about Krishna consciousness?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, ऐसे कैसे?
devotee ऐसा होना चाहिए कि उसको हर समय यही मांगना चाहिए और
नहीं,
दूसरे
नहीं।
पैसे में लगे हुए।
नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं,
ऐसा नहीं है।
Authority wise, Kubera is higher on authority, no?
हाँ, अथॉरिटी वाइज देखेंगे ठीक है, वो एंड ही इज रूलिंग द किंगडम, तो दैट वे उस ढंग से आप देखेंगे ठीक है, बट कुबेर नोज हु इज ध्रुव, पूरा यूनिवर्स जानता था। हाँ, यस,
It has been sanctioned. It has been sanctioned and not disbursed.
ओके ओके, लेट्स गो अहेड, टाइम काफ़ी हो गया, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। ओके, राइट, नेक्स्ट, तस्य प्रीतेन मनसा ताम दत्वैडविडस्तता पश्यतो अंतर्धेशोऽपि स्वपुरं प्रतिपद्यत। यस,
The son of Idavida, Lord Kubera was very pleased, and happily he gave Dhruv Maharaj the benediction he wanted. Thereafter he disappeared from Dhruva's presence, and Dhruv Maharaj returned to his capital city.
okay, so Dhruv Maharaj didn't ask anything material from him. A Vaishnava is also not interested in taking any benediction, so you can write from the bottom 10 or 12 lines. A Vaishnava is not interested in asking any benediction from the demigods, nor is he interested in asking benediction from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is said in Bhagavatam that liberation can be offered by the Supreme Person, but even if a pure devotee is offered liberation by the Supreme Lord, he refuses to accept it. Dhruv Maharaj did not ask Kuber for transference to the spiritual world, which is called liberation. He simply asked that whatever he would remain, wherever he would remain, whether in the spiritual or the material world, he would always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A Vaishnava is always respectful to everyone. So when Kubera offered him a benediction, he did not refuse it, but he wanted something which would be favorable to his advancement in Krishna consciousness. कोई आपको बोल रहा है, बोलो क्या चाहिए, तो ले लो उससे, जो भक्ति में सहायक ले लो, प्रभुपाद जी के पास मिस्टर मोदी, जो मोदी इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है ना, उनका कोई घर से आया, वो बोला स्वामी जी आई रियली अप्रिशिएट योर भागवतम, आप बहुत अच्छा भागवतम आपने लिखा। सो प्रभुपाद ने बोला प्लीज़ गिव मी ब्लेसिंग्स सो दैट आई कैन कंप्लीट इट। उस बिजनेसमैन से प्रभुपाद ब्लेसिंग्स मांग रहे हैं, प्लीज़ गिव मी ब्लेसिंग्स सो दैट आई कंप्लीट इट। सो devotee will not feel I am so high, I don't need blessings of anyone. So devotee is always seeking blessings. Anyone can give me blessings, I want it. Right? Okay. अथायत यज्ञेशम ऋतुभि भूरि दक्षिणेन द्रव्य क्रिया देवतानां कर्म कर्म फलप्रदम।
As long as he remained at home, Dhruv Maharaj performed many great ceremonial sacrifice in order to please the enjoyment of all sacrifice. The Supreme Personality of Godhead prescribed ceremonial sacrifice are especially meant to please Lord Krishna, who is the objective of all such sacrifice and who award the resultant benedictions.
Yeah, so you please read in the second last paragraph. In between, no? Formally the tax is accumulated from the citizens.
Formally the tax.
Got it?
Yes, sir. Formally the tax are accumulated.
Second last.
So,
Formally,
The taxes were accumulated from.
किसके पास mic?
Were spent for
Yeah, yes.
sacrifices.
You got it? Mic इनको दीजिए. Third last, not second last.
At the present moment.
Formerly, the taxes accumulated from the citizens were spent for performing great sacrifices as enjoined in the Vedic literature. At the present moment, however, almost all forms of sacrifices are not at all possible. Therefore, it is recommended in the Shastras that people should perform Sankirtan Yajna. Any householder, regardless of his position, can perform this Sankirtan Yajna without expenditure. All the family members can sit down together and simply clap their hands and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Somehow or other, everyone can manage to perform such a yajna and distribute prasad to the people in general. That is quite sufficient for this age of Kali. The Krishna consciousness movement is based on this principle. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra at every moment as much as possible, both inside and outside of the temples, and as far as possible distribute prasad. This process can be accelerated with the cooperation of state administrators and those who are producing the country's wealth. Simply by liberal distribution of prasad and sankirtan, the whole world can become peaceful and prosperous.
This is Prabhupada's conviction. Okay? So we should always distribute prasad and do sankirtan as much as possible. Okay?
What is liberal distribution?
As much as possible. Without
उसका कुछ explanation, liberal distribution.
liberal means liberally, कंजूसी से नहीं.
कंजूस नहीं होना है distribution.
Yeah. Okay?
So here Sankirtan means both Harinam and book distribution.
Both, yeah. Although Dhruv Maharaj was a great devotee, last paragraph, although Dhruv Maharaj was a great
Dhruv Maharaj was great devotee and had nothing to do with his sacrifice. To set an example to his people, he performed many sacrifices and gave all his wealth in charity. For as long as he lived as a householder, he never spent a farthing for his sense gratification. In this verse, the word karm phal pradam is very significant. The Lord award everyone different kind of karma as the individual living entity desires. He is the super soul present within the heart of everyone, and he is so kind and liberal that he gives everyone full facility to perform whatever acts one wants.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Let's go ahead. Okay, translation, please.
Dhruv Maharaj rendered devotional service unto the Supreme, the reservoir of everything, the unrelenting force. While carrying out his devotional service to the Lord, he could see that everything is situated in him, only that and that he is situated in all living entities. The Lord is called Achyuta because he never fails his prime duty to give protection to his devotee.
Yeah, so Dhruv saw everything, everyone in Lord and Lord in everything. So what are the qualities of Dhruv? Verse number 12. Tamev Shila Sampannam Brahmanyam Dina Vatsalam Goptaram Dharma Setunam Menire Pitaram Praja. Yes.
Dhruv Maharaj was endowed with all goodly qualities. He was very respectful to the devotees of the Supreme Lord and very kind to the poor and innocent. And he protected religious principles. With all these qualifications, he was considered to be the direct father of all the citizens.
Okay, so this is how a leader should be. So Prabhupada is writing very nicely in between, last paragraph. In the center line, Prabhupada is writing, as for good qualities, it is very difficult to find anyone in the state administration with any good qualities. The administrators simply sit in their administrative post and say no to every request, as if they were paid to say no to the citizen. Okay. Next 13 translation, Mataji.
Dhruv Maharaj ruled over this planet for 36,000 years. He diminished the reactions of pious activities by enjoyment, and by practicing austerities, he diminished unauspicious reactions.
Okay. So, Dhruv Maharaj didn't have any balance of pious or activities. He was just doing it out of humility, just to set the example. Okay. So, Prabhupada is writing from the bottom, 7-8 lines. A devotee is not concerned with enjoyment or distress. He simply desires to execute devotional service. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that devotional service should be apratihata, unchecked by material conditions of happiness and distress. The devotees undergo process of austerity such as observing Ekadashi and similar other fasting days and refraining from 4 regulative principles. Okay. 14. Translation, please.
Prabhuji, in the next line it is written that becomes purified from the reaction of his past impious life.
Yeah.
And because he engages in devotional service, which is the most pious activities. So observing Ekadashi and following 4 regulative principles will cut our old reactions.
Yeah. Devotional service cuts all reaction. By bhakti only we can overcome karma. No?
So if somebody is following only 4 regulative principles, then
No.
by
By falling for it, but not by giving up meat eating, intoxication, it's not that he will get rid of his sinful reactions.
okay. So why when he will do chant Hare Krishna
Yeah,
and
yes.
observe Ekadashi,
Only
read
then.
Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yes, only then. Yeah. Karmani nidharti kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Only bhakti can destroy karma, no other thing. Okay, next project.
Self-controlled great soul Dhruv Maharaj thus passed many years favorably executing 3 kinds of quality activities, namely religiosity, economic development, and satisfaction of all material desires. Thereafter, he handed over the charge of the royal throne to his son.
Yeah. Okay. So he was just meeting the status quo because Lord wanted him, so he was just doing it. Okay. So his senses were strong, but he was not engaged in sense gratification. Okay. Just to set the example. अब राजा है वो मुक्त की तरह थोड़ी रहेगा. He has to run the show. So he was performing sacrifices also, dharma sacrifices, just to set the example. He had to pass the time, 36,000 years निकालने.
But enjoyment तो करी नहीं उन्होंने पिछले वर्सेस में आया. He didn't spend starting for his.
Yeah, so he was just distributing it to all.
हाँ, तो material enjoyment.
Like this only, giving enjoyment to everyone. He was not preaching all those things. He was not engaged in sense gratification. Okay. Next, please.
They should have engaged the whole citizens in bhakti. King has a power, so he can engage although even they want or.
Yeah. So that time, then the process was, meditation and yagya. So he was doing that. But he knew that I'm just doing it because I am a king, I have to set the example.
Just for
Yeah. Even you will see in Bhagavatam, Bharat Maharaj is doing yajnas, Amrish Maharaj is doing yajnas. So when these kings, the Vaishnav kings, Rajrishis do the yajnas, so when they are offering to demigods, they see the demigods as part and parcel of the Lord. They never forget the Lord. They are offering all the ahutis as a part and parcel of the Lord. But not in all the population they are elevated that level. So they have to just set the example as a normal householder. That. Right? Okay, next translation.
Srila Dhruv Maharaj realized that this cosmic manifestation bewilders living entities like a dream or phantasmagoria, because it is a creation of the illusory, external energy of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, so we all know that it's a perverted reflection. So devotees are not interested in this. Devotees are interested in the real thing, that is spiritual world. Next translation, Mataji.
Thus Dhruv Maharaj at the end left his kingdom, which extended all over the earth and was bounded by the great oceans. He considered his body, his wives, his children, his friends, his army, his rich treasury, his very comfortable palaces, and his many enjoyable pleasure grounds to be creation of the illusory energy. Thus, in due course of time, he retired to the forest in the Himalayas, known as Badrika Ashram.
Yes, she went to the Badrika Ashram. Okay. So this is how Dhruv Maharaj, he says that Prabhupada is writing. In the beginning of his life, please read. Purport.
In the beginning of his life, when he went to the forest in search of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruv Maharaj realized that all bodily conceptions of pleasure are product of the illusionary energy. In the very beginning, of course, he was after the kingdom of his father, and in order to get it, he went to search for the Supreme Lord. But he later realized that everything is the creation of the illusory energy. From the acts of Srila Dhruv Maharaj, we can understand that somehow or other, if one becomes Krishna conscious, it does not matter what his motivation is in the beginning. He will eventually realize the real truth by the grace of the Lord. In the beginning, Dhruv Maharaj was interested in the kingdom of his father, but later he became a great devotee, Mahabhagavat, and had no interest in material enjoyment. The perfection of life can be achieved only by devotees, even if one completes only a minute percentage of devotional service, and then falls down from his immature position. He is better than a person who fully engages in the fruitive activities of this material world.
Okay. So Dhruv Maharaj had wrong motivations. His devotional service was not a hetuki. But because he performed apratihata, it became a hetuki. So even if we have some wrong motives, if we are consistently, sincerely performing, our motive will also get purified. Devotional service is so pure.
Okay. This statement is also very powerful, that Prabhupada is saying even a minute.
Minute.
Yeah. Even a minute percentage is very, very significant, rather than the one who is dedicating his life for the purpose of his duties.
Karma kand or duty.
Karma kand maybe. Even he is fulfilling his duties as a the Kshatriya or.
Yes. Yeah.
As I understand, that the person is not following the Bhagavad Dharma, he is just following his duties and the prescribed duties.
One ashram dharma perfectly, but no Bhagavad Dharma useless.
और अगर वो manually भी भक्ति करता है, तो वो ज़्यादा better होता है.
Yes.
To understand this, for example, कोई एक बहुत बड़ा देश का राजा भी है, but he is atheist. अगर कोई एक व्यक्ति है और वो सिर्फ मंदिर में झाड़ू लगा रहा है, तो he is much more.
Obviously, doubt है इसमें आपको. एक बहुत बड़ा मायावादी सन्यासी है और एक नया भक्त है, वो आके मंदिर में घंटी बजा रहा है, भगवान के रूप को मानता है. ही इज मच बेटर देन दैट मायावादी सन्यासी. सो भक्ति इतनी पावरफुल है ना.
वो श्लोक में अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता आता है. अहेतुकी पहले आता है, फिर अप्रतिहता आता है. तो इसका मतलब डिवोटी को पहले चाहिए कि उसका अपना थिंकिंग जो है उसको प्यूरिफाई करे. और भगवत गीता में भी भगवान बोलते हैं, पहले मन को, इंद्रियों को कम में संयम करके अगर मन को छोड़ दिया हमने तो वो मतलब बन जाएगा। तो इसका मतलब क्या, पहले हमें ये इस पे फोकस करना चाहिए कि हमारा जो थिंकिंग है, जो डिजायर्स है वो खत्म हो, और फिर हम अपरिहता जो है अनलिमिटेड जो तो
No, no, no.
कर सकते नहीं। उल्टा।
Bhakti is no qualification. At whatever stage you are, whatever motives you have, you start performing. Dhruv Maharaj started with wrong motivations, but we should follow it consistently. And now we are getting the knowledge. Now we should not keep any motives. Like I said before also, the purpose is not to encourage impure motives. The purpose is to glorify the consistency or sincerity of the service. And this is the case taken. It's not that, okay, Dhruv Maharaj is having wrong motive, so I'll also keep my wrong motive. No. It's not to encourage that. But it is showing the greatness of devotional service. If one performs it sincerely, it purifies everything. Right?
Maharaj, motive was not wrong. Is it wrong? No.
Yeah, it was.
Bhagavad Gita also said Arthi. So he wanted dhan, he wanted Rajya.
Yeah.
So that is not such people also called Mahatmas.
Yeah.
So how could this?
It's not pure devotional service. It is not for the pleasure of the Lord. For his own pleasure he was.
Still, he is not. The motivation is not wrong. Going for own wish, for own things, going to Krishna is again he's also Mahatma.
Yeah. His punya. He's Punya Atma, not Mahatma, he's Punya Atma. Mahatma is, he'll do it everything for the pleasure of the Lord. That is called Mahatma. He's called Punya Atma. They are all pious. Okay. So I think we should have a break for Gayatri break. It's 1:50.
15 minutes.
10 minutes? Yeah.